Oh, I'm not even in full screen right now. This is amateur hour, but this is week 17 of the NFL regular season. Pre-show kickoff brought to you by 3 podcasts. Hello, one and all. And I'm just going to go by how all the screens I have on my screen right now. So we got Josh in the top left. Josh, hello.
Up, everybody.
Then we have Dom and Jake in the bottom left. Hello, gentlemen. And we got Colin right under me. Colin, hello.
What is up, boy?
Big week 17 week ahead. Mayhem's going to pursue all over the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock hours, and potentially into the 8 o'clock hour with the Sunday night game. But let's get right into this right now. The Browns had a COVID-19 positive case overnight, and the Browns were instructed right now to not go into the stadium until the rapid tests come back clean. So this game is not looking to be in jeopardy right now, but there is potential that something could go wrong if a test does come back positive at this very moment. There's so much stuff right now. The Saints right now are dealing with their complete backups at running back right now. Ty Montgomery, Taysom Hill, and another practice squad member who will be active going into the game today. Let's hear your thoughts. There's teams that want, that Sunday game so they can get, the players back. Example, the Saints with Alvin Kamara and a lot of other playoff teams right now that are dealing with COVID-19 protocols. What are your guys' thoughts on everything going down at this very moment?
You say the Saints rusher? Who's their
Alvin
first?
Kamara, Latavius Murray, their fullback, and another running back are all out. They have Ty Montgomery, a practice
Ty
squad
Montgomery.
member, and Taysom Hill at running back today.
I don't know. Ty Montgomery could have a good day.
I'd honestly love to see Taysom Hill be another position.
I
Well,
like the thought of Ty Montgomery there. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know what's surprising. COVID cases are spiking in the world. It's kind of holiday season, and so this is what happens, man. Guys got to take it seriously. It sucks, Sorry, Zoom, FaceTime your family. When you're in the league and it's playoff time, you can't mess around. You're going to see with the Steelers next week. Steelers without Joe Hayden. He tested positive. Eric Ebron was a close contact. He was at his house, I don't know, like past weekend or something. He was there at his house on Instagram, and stuff. And he's a close contact now, along with someone else. I'm forgetting who it is at the moment. But you got to take this stuff seriously, man. And you're going to see it. Joe Hayden's out next week for the Steelers in a playoff game. So that's huge. And Kamara's possibly out next week in a playoff game if they don't get the 1 seed, which I don't think they do. So if the NFL hates the Saints that much and puts them on Saturday, there's no Alvin Kamara in that game, most likely. So the guys got to take this stuff seriously. And you're seeing it right now with the Browns again. So it's kind of crazy to think that the Browns and Steelers are possibly going to play with Cleveland popping up in cases pretty much all week. So, and the fact that they're going to play, and God forbid, we haven't really seen it, though, to be fair. We haven't seen it pass to other teams. With teams that have had cases, pass it to another team. Figure the Titans had their, massacre of positives. The Ravens did. And it never transferred over to the Steelers. It never transferred over to the Bills. Never transferred over to the Vikings. The teams that were, playing after these guys, the games prior to all the COVID's popping out the next day. So we haven't seen it cross over. Knock on wood, that's probably the good thing. But the fact that they're going to play this game, say Cleveland does win, they should win. They're having positives still. They're going to miss a playoff game. And if this continues up to the game, what's the NFL going to do? So you might see games that are like Monday, Tuesday. This might turn into a fiasco here for the NFL if these guys don't get it figured out.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed of having, Monday night playoff football at all. Another day of the week for football. But a situation to watch there. But let's look into the coaching update right now. So as we know for certain, Adam Gase and Doug Marrone are going to be fired after their respective games today. So that's welcoming sights for Jacksonville and the Jets. But with Jacksonville, they are pursuing Urban Meyer to be their next head coach. If not, they're going to be going after Day, who is a part of the Ohio State coaching staff at this very moment. Do you see Urban Meyer just coming out of the studio to go into the NFL with the first overall pick to maybe turn around the Jacksonville franchise, who's only seen success one time over the last 10 years?
Absolutely not.
See, I agree with Jake. I don't think it will happen, but I wouldn't mind it because I like Urban Meyer as a coach personally. I think he's a great coach in college. I'd like to see him in the NFL. I think he was at one point, but put him back there, see how he does, especially to turn around the Jacksonville team. It can only go up from here. So maybe bring him in, see what he can do in Jacksonville, but I doubt it's going to happen. And Ryan Day is not going anywhere. He's got a second season with Ohio State, and he's killing it with them. So I don't see him going anywhere either.
Like Urban Meyer left Ohio State and retired when they were like still on top.
Yeah,
And
but
passed it to Ryan
he
Day.
was having some issues though there, which was also part of the reasoning for that man to skedaddle and retire, which was that also helped him out there.
Like he was like one of the most successful college coaches of all time, and he's got a cushy job right now, just talking. Getting paid a lot of money to just talk.
He's got a nice, easy job just talking. No stress at all about week-to-week practice and games. So I don't think why would you leave that, to be honest.
I did hear some rumblings though. You got to figure he really didn't get the love that he should have gotten when he was at the University of Florida. He's not really has that solid resume down there and the love where this could be the chance to get that love back if he takes Jacksonville and does something productive with them. This is probably the hottest job out there right now. They have a ton of cap. With the cap going down, they have the most. So they can go out and fill that roster, which has got some key pieces already. With pretty much a cornerstone at corner, a legit rusher in Josh Allen. That's a pretty solid start on the defensive side of the ball. And then I'm not even mentioning Miles Jack. So they got some solid pieces on the defense. You're getting the number 1 overall pick. You got another first-round draft pick. So they got some stuff to work with and a bunch of cap. So this team could easily turn themselves around with a legit coach in the franchise guy. I think Jets fans are probably hoping Ryan Day scurries himself to Jacksonville so they can take Justin Fields because you know darn well if Ryan Day goes there, he's taking Justin Fields. I don't see. Imagine that. Imagine that one. Ryan Day goes to Jacksonville and takes Trevor Lawrence over Justin Fields.
There's no way there's even a chance that happens.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying. It'd be hilarious to see what happens there. So I don't know. I don't think any of those guys go, honestly. I think you guys are all right. I don't think any of those guys go there. Even though it's the best job. So if Ryan Day does want to make it to the NFL at some point, this is his opportunity. So if he does want to take that leap, this is the moment now. He's going to get a guy he already knows most likely at quarterback. Or, again, Andrew Luck-like player in Trevor Lawrence. So you got those two options as your franchise guy. You got a boatload of cap. You know, geez Louise, and he's coming off this fantastic run right now at Ohio State. See if he can pack it off with Alabama. But if he wants to make the leap, here's the opportunity to do it. I don't think he does, personally.
And some other coaching news. Doug Peterson's expected to stay in Philadelphia with major coaching changes all over the ball. With Jim Schwartz coaching his last game in Philadelphia, letting his contract expire. He is contemplating retirement, which for the Eagles, they can only go better with defense on their side of the ball. Anthony Lynn right now is a 50-50 on keeping his job, and we will find out on Black Monday whether he does, in fact, stay as the Chargers coach or not. Matt Nagy and Vic Fangio are staying at their helm of the job with the Bears. In the hunt for the playoffs right now, we'll see what happens with the Packers and the Cardinals games with that last wild card spot up in the air. And Vic Fangio with the depleted team that he's been playing with the last 2 years, they're giving him another shot in Denver this year. Well, next year, to be precise. And let's look at some other kind of big names right now. The Lions are heavily pursuing Seahawks general manager John Schneider and also Steelers GM Kevin Colbert. Colbert is expected to be a very far reach, but with John Schneider right now, he does not have any control over player personnel. In Seattle, that's all Pete Carroll. Can we see there's a little bit of a tampering thing going on right now in Detroit with these rumors coming out, especially with teams that are advancing into the postseason as we speak? Could we see John Schneider just end up leaving? I mean, he's been building this team up with Pete Carroll for the last decade. Won a Super Bowl, went to another one, and they've just been owning that West for so long. Could we see John Schneider, going over into Detroit to help what has been a very sad decade, well, couple decades for Detroit?
Absolutely not. No way. No way. There's no way he's going to Detroit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Why do you leave a Seattle team where you got great things going, even with DK Metcalf now with that offense? That offense is crazy now. Defense needs some work. Obviously, we all know that. But offensive side of the ball is stupid this year. I don't think he leaves Seattle, especially for Detroit.
The only
Unless
reason
they offer him
I
the
think
house.
that he'd want to prove that he could do it on his own. If he's not making any like player decisions because of Pete Carroll, like to go to Detroit, if he turns them around, then he gets the credit for himself of building the Seahawks.
Which I think he could do, but at the same time, in Seattle, if Pete Carroll's handling the player stuff, and obviously he's doing a pretty damn good job at it, then why?
I'm sorry, I need to cut this
still can't
off really
agree with
quick right now. Carson Wentz is a healthy scratch today against Washington.
Because they're tanking. They're going to put Saints out in the second half of the game.
I just want to say that, but you can continue with your thing, Josh.
I just don't think that he would leave a good thing in Seattle at the end of the day. I don't think it comes down to that at all.
I also have to agree with Jake, though. If he does want to go out and get his opportunity, like I just said with the quarterback, the head coaching situation in Jacksonville, if he wants his opportunity, this is his opportunity to go. So, and again, would I go to Detroit as my option? Absolutely not. No way in heck am I going to Detroit. Detroit has been such a stupid team because you look at their roster and they actually should not be as awful as they've been. And they just continue to be awful. So I'm not going to Detroit. I'm not doing it. There's no way I'm doing it. They shouldn't be this bad. And they continue to be this bad. Like, they had a solid draft last year. Their offense has always been good. They've always had weapons. Galladay, Marvin Jones, Megatron. They've had weapons. T.J. Hawkinson. They've had weapons. Now they got DeAndre Swift back there, legit running back, quote, quote. And they just cannot do a thing. And they're just bad.
Sit in games, too. Like, they're always in games. And they always, like, have these real close games where they honestly probably should win half the time. But it's always a loss. That's why their record's always so bad. Every game they're in, they still lose.
It's Detroit for you.
Yeah.
And well, to continue on the Carson Wentz talk, he's expected to ask the Eagles for a trade with their fractured relationship as we speak, with Jalen Hurts being the starting quarterback for the last quarter of the season. So that's a situation to be watching in Philadelphia, who is already in a cap gridlock situation and cannot afford to have Wentz off that roster with the money that they will be chewing up from that contract. Also, Drew Brees, I mean, this is a no-brainer right here. Drew Brees will officially retire after the season, per Adam Schefter. He signed a deal with NBC in April, and he will be, joining NBC once his time in the NFL is over. So best of luck to Drew Brees. And, I mean, we'll probably be looking at some other stuff. Thomas Davis expected to retire if, he announced his retirement. Let's start there with the Washington football team. And he'll retire once the season concludes with them. Another person, Larry Fitzgerald, 38 years old. We might see the end of Larry Fitz today in L.A. And also Frank Gore, who just eclipsed 1,600 rush yards. 16,000 rushing yards. Will end up probably calling it a career after being inactive today due to a lung injury. We have no questions right now in the chat, but let's go talk about some fantasy football right now. Let's go to the stardom sit-ems. We got 2 segments here for fantasy football. Who are you guys starting for those that have Week 17 lineups, trying to strive for playoff greatness and hoist that trophy to start off their 2021 year?
This one's an interesting week because half of these teams aren't playing their starters. Well, not half, less than half, but nonetheless.
Well, for me, I got to start with the Ravens. Easy start, Lamar Jackson. Man's been stupid hot lately, so start Lamar Jackson if you want to win. And again, if you have a Week 17 playoff, then that's just I don't know what to say to you. That's just a weird league because you have the situation of players sitting, like Patrick Mahomes, Big Ben, the list goes on. So if you're playing a Week 17 Super Bowl, God bless you, and go find another league. Gotta tell you, man. Oh, my goodness.
I don't like that slander, Colton, because you're in our league, which has a Week 17 championship right now that I'm currently in. I'm trying to conquer the 12-1 Weston Werbert team.
Well, not going to lie to you, Commish. I'm not a big fan of Week 17 championship games because of this reason of guys sitting. But, again, start the Ravens. Pretty much you're starting guys, who are actually starting that didn't get benched. Look at it that way. That's who you're starting this week, folks. That's your stardom sit-ems. You're starting guys that are playing not getting benched. So make sure you take Mahomes out of your roster spot at quarterback.
Someone.
For me, my start's going to be Tom Brady. I think that even though they do have a clinch playoff spot, I think they can still move up or down in the rankings.
I mean, I think they can only move down. I don't think they
can
can
only
move
move
up.
down.
I think they're
Yeah.
actually locked in at the 5, to be honest.
Yeah, they can't move.
Well, shit. Never mind then. I'm going to take away Tom Brady. I'll think about it again. Somebody else go.
I mean, my person I'm going to be starting Giovanni Bernard. I mean, this is in my championship league right now, and also the better Montgomery. That's at Dom. Ty Montgomery, I think for the Saints, he will be catching a lot of passes out of the backfield, being that Alvin Kamara kind of gadget type player. Montgomery might see his most action he has seen since, his days in the Packers only 3 years ago. So that's who I'll be.
By the way, Will, they can go down.
They can? Who's 6 right now?
Didn't the Rams beat Tampa Bay? The Rams beat them, didn't they?
Yes, they no.
Yeah, the Rams. No,
Wait.
I'm pretty sure the Rams
No,
won that
yeah,
game.
Rams
Yeah,
won
the
that
Rams
one.
won, I believe. The Rams, I believe, like pretty much looked like, the Rams own Tom Brady, and then they get like throttled the following week by like some random team. So, if I am correct on that, they can move up. Again, the Rams are without Jared Goff, so they can only slide up to the 5. But again, that's highly unlikely. So they are probably a lock at 5, but they can go down, I believe. I'm looking at it right now. Tampa's 10-5, and LA's 9-6. Tampa loss and the LA win would slide them up to 5 because they own the tiebreaker.
I'll keep Tom Brady as my starter then. I think him playing Atlanta this week is a pretty good defense. Not a good defense, but good for him.
Chris Godwin all the way. Start Chris Godwin.
Yeah, he won me a fantasy championship last week, man. Thank God to Chris Godwin, boy.
Russell Gage.
I gotta
That's
say,
another person I would end up starting.
I gotta say, start Phillip Rivers. They're against Jacksonville. They have something to play for. I mean, it's an ideal situation for Phillip Rivers.
Well, I'm starting the running backs today, is what I am doing. Give me a whole lot of Jonathan Taylor. That's going to be here, take it, here, take it, here, take it again. I'm not throwing the ball. Take the ball here.
And also Alexander Madison with Dalvin Cook out this Sunday due to family reasons, as we wish him the prayers after his father's passing. Alexander Madison, I think, will get the Dalvin Cook workload, and Vikings should come out victorious in this very late matchup here for them. And, well, let's go to the sitting portion. Who are you guys sitting?
I'm sitting all of my freaking running backs, apparently, because Dalvin Cook, Miles Sanders, and Alvin Kamara are all out. I'm screwed. I don't know who the heck I'm picking.
Well, there you go. See,
Ty,
Josh,
you know what? You should pick up the Jets running back, Ty Johnson.
I just hate Week 17 playoff, but it's okay. I'll get.
Yeah, see, Josh.
I got David Johnson coming in, David Montgomery, so we'll see how the Davids do. But
And you're disappointed in that? That's like
I would much rather have Alvin Kamara. Yeah, Alvin Kamara and
David
Dalvin
Johnson
Cook.
has been the hottest player, hottest running back the last couple weeks.
I guess who was the hottest? The guy that scored like 6 touchdowns, Will. Maybe that. The guy that got fined for Christmas cleats. Maybe
Yep.
that guy.
And then they gave him COVID too. Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying. My combination of Kamara and Cook this year have just been godly, and now they're both out Week 17. So
Again, whose fault is it for joining a Week 17 playoff, sir?
That's not.
yeah, well,
Listen,
that's my fault for Dom's league. Now Dom's my commission.
He's right here.
Bingo. But anyway, for me, I'm sitting the guys that aren't playing. So sitting Patrick Mahomes, I'm sitting Miles Sanders, sitting Dalvin Cook. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to give you a matchup. If you have a Week 17 championship and there's money on the line, God bless you. I'm not kidding, in a league with money on the line with
Good
Week
luck.
17 for this reason. For this reason that my man Josh is going through. With no Alvin Kamara, clearly Dalvin Cook's a different situation. But yeah, not having it. So yeah, just sit the guys that aren't playing. So just make sure you look that up.
listen, Josh is ranting on the fact that he doesn't have any running backs. I've been without Christian McCaffrey since week 2, and Le'Veon Bell got cut, so I've been on backup fumes.
Whoa.
Why'd you have Le'Veon Bell to start with?
Yeah, why would you?
Because I drafted him, because I'm like, well, I think Le'Veon Bell could honestly do something.
Because you're a Jet fan.
Jets
That's
fan,
why.
yep.
This is why I'm
You're
in the
a Jet fan.
championship, okay? Because I make those Jets moves, okay?
Oh gosh, get out of here. Oh,
Last place.
So the Jets are going to the championship soon, Will? Is that what you're saying? I'll quote you right now.
Listen, Colin Coward also said, I'm going to book my 2020 AFC Championship game with Adam Gase, Sam Darnold, Le'Veon Bell. And yeah, look at how that has been.
yeah, the number 2 pick though, man.
The number 2 pick is clinched. First is the worst, second is the best.
You get
guys
positive
think-
vibes from Colton.
You guys couldn't even tank right. That's a shame.
And well, let's talk about this in fantasy. What's one person that you're so thankful for that you drafted this year that like helped your season in some way or another?
Drafted or signed?
Drafted, signed, whoever you found
Oh,
off the
okay.
streets. I already know where Dom's going with this, so I
Yep.
don't really want to hear this.
We can make him go
Will,
last.
Thank you, Will, for dropping David Montgomery for literally like no reason because I've had him in the stretch of his career right now.
Bro, what is wrong with this guy? Will, what is wrong with you, bro?
Listen, I
Well,
had
you-
Zeke.
Can I ask who you picked up, Will?
What I
Yeah,
picked
who'd
up from
you pick
David
up?
Montgomery.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure you picked up somebody when you dropped them, right? Come
I
on.
think I honestly dropped him. Well, I have to go back
Oh.
through. I have to go back to like what week 11 or
I hope that
something.
you dropped them for a defense or something.
No,
Will.
to be fair, Will dropped him because he got injured, but he was only out for 2 weeks.
Only out 2 weeks.
Cares?
Listen,
He's
he
a
was.
number
I never started
guy.
David Montgomery though, and all my time of fantasy, I never. He was just sitting on the bench. I was trying
You
to use it
started
for like.
Zeke, who was useless after Prescott went down. Will, what in God's name are you
No,
doing fantasy-wise?
no,
Cole's definitely got a
Okay.
point here. I don't know why you really
Listen,
Montgomery when he's got
Listen, I picked up people like Duke Johnson and Chase Edmonds
Yeah,
as
So, yeah, you're really bad.
as
you're really
Chase
bad at
Edmonds.
fantasy.
Okay.
You're very bad at fantasy, Will.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm not on like.
And Naheem Hines. Okay, I think I probably dropped him for Naheem Hines. In all honesty, I
No,
don't
you're
even
just
tell
choosing
you.
that because that's your best
Yeah,
case scenario right
That's
now.
your
Will.
best case. That's your best.
You don't
argument.
even know. You're hoping right now that you dropped them for the Heat.
Oh, that's
Listen,
awful.
listen, I'm getting
All I'm saying is
slandered
if
right
you've
now.
listened to Will start him and sit him, and you've done it. I apologize.
Listen, you go back to
I'm
go
sorry
back.
for
You
you,
go back to
man.
week
You
3.
got
Go back to week
dropped,
3. I said
dude.
start Odell against the Cowboys. He has his best game against the Cowboys, and what happened? 39 fantasy points, 3 total touchdowns. What a 55-yard rushing touchdown.
what week-
One
week
one
did you
out of
drop-
17? One out of 17?
One out of one out of
Will?
15. 1 out of 15 to be honest.
Like,
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Will, what week did you drop him?
Who? Montgomery? Probably when he got the concussion, week 11, week 12.
Why in God's bro? Like he's the number one running back there. He's
it
getting
gets
all
worse.
the touches, the receptions, everything because of no Tree Cohen. Man, that's just called bad GMing. That's called losing championships right there. That is a Jets
No,
move.
losing championships
right.
is getting a tie in fantasy, okay? So I'll call Dom's commissioner part on that. Again, the second consecutive year and the second consecutive matchup against the same person twice. With probably the same score twice.
Wait, it was the same, score.
score.
Yeah.
I mean,
Abolish
mine-
ties in fantasy. That's all I'm going to be saying.
I'll just go back to Will's point of this whole segment was people we drafted.
People
And
you
I'm just
drafted
gonna
or
take-
signed off the streets. I mean, someone
I'll
that,
take my
secured
I'll
it.
take my running backs just because they've been godly. Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara. What a duo to get. So I'll take them.
I did what the Eagles didn't, and I in the last round got Justin Jefferson.
Oh, I have him too. That's a great pickup.
Yeah, for me, it's probably the easiest answer out of any of them, other than Justin Jefferson possibly being in there. It's James Robinson, and it's not close. That was the guy you drafted like the last round of your fantasy league, or you signed him after the draft because like, oh shoot, who's the starting running back in Jacksonville? Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, James Robinson saved the leagues and saved championships. So thank God for James Robinson. Thank you, Jacksonville. Duval, baby, Duval.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. The person that honestly I drafted that I thought was good, Alvin Kamara. I never expected Kamara to be this powerful. I know he was going to be good, but I was not expecting him, 45 points here, another 38-point matchup there, 55 points on Christmas. I never expected him to be,
Why weren't you expecting that? He's a check down legend.
I knew he was going to be a top 5 running back. I never knew he was going to be, this powerful, as in like the number 1 running back by like a mile.
He's a check down legend. When Drew Brees is the quarterback, he is a check down legend. I lost because Drew Brees got hurt and he was not a check down legend. So that's why I lost. I had Kamara. I made a trade for him, and I lost because Taysom Hill was not a check down legend, and I lost because of it. So thank you, Drew Brees. Oh, God.
And well, who's the one person that you regret drafting and, doing all that kind of good stuff with?
Zeke. It's Ezekiel Elliott.
Will
I
loves
won a
them.
championship despite Zeke. Imagine that. You win a championship without playing Zeke for like the whole season. I didn't play Zeke once after Dak Prescott got hurt. Cool, I started him the next week, see what happens. But that was a disaster. He was awful. He was awful. And I won still. Thank you, Stephon Diggs. Diggs won me a championship. And thank you, Stephon Diggs. We didn't bring him up to the table. But how many people drafted Stephon Diggs late? You probably got Diggs. I don't know. I got him like the 9th round. That's a steal. That is a steal for Stephon Diggs. But yeah, screw Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not doing it again. Bum.
For me, it was probably Marquise Brown. I've been like, when I thought he was gonna be good, he blew, and then all of a sudden, I like made amends to put other wide receivers in, and then he starts doing good. I actually dropped him and ended up picking him back up because no one picked him up. Like, he has ruined so many weeks of my fantasy this year. I'm over it, and I'm not gonna draft him again.
Yeah, but I feel the same way. Cole's not gonna like it, but I picked up Juju in like the 3rd or 4th round, I think it was, and it just
for a reason, man. I told you, man.
inconsistency is what I'll describe him as. I don't like it. So
I could have told you that, Josh. If you just asked me, hey, Colton, would you rather Juju or Deontay Johnson? I would easily tell you Deontay Johnson.
I wish you were there on draft day and you were like my draft analyst or something.
Coach could have gave me that draft day phone call. Yo, what's up there, Colton?
I'm in the 3rd round
clock.
right now.
On the clock. What you looking at? What are you looking at here? What guys you looking at? You easily made the phone call. I would have picked up for you, Josh.
And you would have picked anybody but Juju. You're probably right.
You could have picked up Josh Gordon, and you would have got more out of Josh Gordon than you did Juju.
Yeah, Juju was not a good pick.
I did not draft Juju in any of my leagues, and I only drafted Deontay Johnson in one. So, and I knew Deontay Johnson was the better receiver.
I traded someone in our league. I drafted Juju and traded him straight up for Deontay Johnson.
Wow, that's called a fleece.
Yeah, you fleeced him for sure.
That was Jason.
Who was it?
Jason.
And then you also exchanged Charger running backs too. You traded like Josh Kelly and like whoever the other guy was, Kalen Ballage.
Whoever the other guy.
Basically, it's whoever the other guy was.
Will loves running backs, don't you, Will?
Well, let me tell my 2 busts. Okay, Christian McCaffrey, you picked him first overall. You're expecting, like 30 points a game from him, which, he did in his 3 games he started, but, he's been out the other 13 weeks. And another person, I would have to say Kenny Golladay. I mean, he's never really mentioned, but he started out with the hamstring injury, came back, was killing it, and then the hip injury, and the Lions just decided, we're not going to put him on IR. We're just going to put him questionable every single week because, we're the Detroit Lions.
That's Julio.
But at least they put Julio on IR, and then he came back to re-hurt himself.
Oh, well, yeah, but then now he's questionable every single week, and then he's out the day of every single week for the last, 5 weeks. So the playoff stretch has been rough.
Welcome to the ATL and welcome to Detroit. Do you see anything like a line there? They're both.
That's why Will's got that jersey on.
Julio. That's all I'm going to have to say on that one. And, well, let's go into betting right now. I mean, I'm not sure what you guys... I know Josh can't bet legally in Oklahoma, but if you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER because that is not good to have. Don't have my mindset because I am going to win this week on my bet because last week 17 I got screwed by the Raiders. Colton knows about that very well. I refuse to ever acknowledge the Raiders as an NFL franchise because I just can't stand them. Let me log in really quick. I'll read you my 4-player parlay. Anytime touchdown scores. As I have selected some of the most elite players to score a touchdown in the 1 o'clock hour today. Chris Godwin, Marvin Jones, Jamison Crowder, and Sterling Shepard. All to score in the 1 o'clock hour. 5,117 odds.
Well, for me, my thing has to go with my spread. I didn't make it yet, but I'm already looking at it and already like some things here. Give me the Jets +3 against the Patriots. That's easy money right there. I'm taking the Jets +3. I'm taking Dallas on the money line or on the spread, at 1.5. I think Dallas is really hot and got it going. Giants look abysmal on offense, so I can't take the Giants at all.
Thanks, Colton. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. So those are my first 2 teams. Then I got to go Ravens -13. It's a big number. I get it. Might scare some people, but the Ravens are hot, and the Ravens can just blow the door off knowing what they're in situation-wise to make the playoffs. There you go. 3-team parlay right there, folks. And I think it's easy money right there. I think all 3 of those hit.
I'll admit, I was looking at the Bengals +14 because I honestly think they can cover that spread very easily. I think they can. Listen, Colton, we talked about this on our show about the 10-5 teams, and I've said the Bengals are 2-0 in the past 10 years against playing the Ravens. on Week 17. First of all, Joe Flacco throws the pick six, screws them out of the playoffs post Super Bowl, and then you see the Tyler Boyd catch all the way to the house. Bill fans are praising everything. They loved Andy Dalton for probably the next 8 months after that because the Bills fans have never been to the playoffs before then, since like the 90s, I want to say. So I might make another one. I don't know. I'm a delinquent. Sorry, Jake. Let me say that before you say it.
Degenerate gambler.
Degenerate, delinquent, same thing. But I mean, I'm pretty interested in that plus 14 in Cincinnati as well.
You're a big Bengals guy over there. For
I am a
some
big Bengals guy. Okay.
And he also made me. I definitely only had 6 different picks than Jacob, and I'm 7 games behind. So he made my last pick and switched it up with Cincinnati over Baltimore. So if Will's wrong, he cost me a championship. That's all I'm saying.
Don't you have to be in contention to win a championship, though?
7 games behind isn't that bad, okay, Will? Quiet down over there.
Quiet down.
Got a big gap.
And let's talk about the actives and inactives because, well, there's so many. So the inactives include Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sammy Watkins, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Joey Bosa, Dalvin Cook, Kenny Galladay, Damian Harris, Frank Gore, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Cole Beasley, DJ Chark, James Robinson, Julio Jones, Devin White, Shaq Barrett, Jared Goff, Darrell Henderson, Cooper Kupp, Christian Kirk, Tyler Croft, Carlos Hyde, Joe Hayden. I just lost where I am. Eric Ebron, Cam Hayward, Marquise Pouncey, TJ Watt, Chris Boswell, Denzel Ward, Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray, Christian McCaffrey, Mike Davis, David Bakhtiari, KJ Hamler, Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Richard Sherman, Thomas Davis, Derek Barnett, Fletcher Cox, Dallas Goedert, Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Mailata, Duke Riley, and Miles Sanders.
Do you hate yourself or hate yourself? I'm just asking.
I'm surprised I did not stutter in my way through. I only lost where I was on my reading skills. So that's who we have right now. I am. Well, let's not talk about that right now, okay?
I gotta give Will props because I've never heard him say that many names right in my life. That was good. And that quick. That was impressive, Will.
And
I was taking a little nap back here, but I enjoyed it too.
Let me also read some other inactives. Laramie Tunsil not expected to play with an ankle injury. Gus Edwards listed as questionable with a back injury. Carrying that Ravens offense is expected to play today. Cam Akers listed as questionable, is trying to play with an ankle sprain that he suffered last week against Seattle. The Cardinals are not optimistic that Larry Fitzgerald, who is listed questionable with a groin injury, will play today. With Christian Kirk already out, Fitzgerald could try to surprise Arizona. Very long shot to do, as well. The Bills, might I add, also ruled out some pretty big names. Tre'Davious White, Jerry Hughes, Cole Beasley, and Mario Addison. And that right now is all that we know about the actives and inactives right now. Let's go into the buy, sell, and hold. What are you guys buying into Week 17 to see in the postseason or even improve some draft stock?
I'm buying into the Washington football team. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to seal it late and ruin either the hopes of Giants fans or Cowboys fans all around the world. Hopefully Giants fans.
Only Giants fans.
I think Dallas is too hot. And is there any word on Alex Smith? Is he active? Or
Alex Smith has been ruled. He's been cleared to play today. Well, tonight, to be honest.
So who are they playing again?
They play the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm not gonna lie to you, folks. I have the Eagles in our little play action pick 'em. So I do have the Eagles winning.
So do
What
I.
are you looking at, Jake?
Yeah, Jake, we're finally sticking by your team because something looks good in Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry that we're positive thinkers over here.
We are sitting the whole team today. I'm buying into us being petty to keep the Dallas Cowboys out.
We suck again.
We're losing on purpose today.
Says who, though?
Says that everybody getting benched today.
Source,
Jalen
the
Hurts
inactive
getting benched?
report.
No, but he's gonna get benched in the second half for Sudfeld.
Josh, you have an unrealistic opinion about quarterbacks.
What?
Eli Manning.
I said you have an unrealistic opinion about quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts.
Carson Wentz is not an unrealistic opinion that he keeps getting injured and he's not good. Jalen Hurts is going to be a much better thing in Philadelphia than Carson Wentz ever would be.
You like Eli Manning.
What? How so?
You like Eli Manning. That should be enough said.
Because he's my quarterback. That's my team. I bet you also like. I don't even
hardware.
Name a great quarterback from Philly because you only have one Super Bowl, and it was by a backup quarterback that you traded.
Hey, well,
Good one, Colton.
I don't know what's going on down there. See, the entertainment value always comes in at about 11:30 every single week.
No, we're benching the whole team today. Like half of the line is not playing. Some player, one of our corners, just got COVID this morning, supposedly. They're finding every excuse they can to sit guys today. They're trying to keep the Cowboys or Giants or whoever out.
It's the only
Let
team.
the other division winner win. It doesn't really make sense to me.
We're the only ones eliminated.
But Jake, I'm saying the Eagles GMs are not thinking about Giants and Cowboys fans getting mad and not making the playoffs. They're thinking about their own chances of winning a single game or tanking, which
Tanking.
You could be right in tanking, but
Tanking. Okay.
the GMs
Well,
are
the
not
fact
thinking,
that this is turning into a Giants-Eagles conversation here is mind-boggling because both those teams are irrelevant in week 7.
Hey, I didn't. Colton, I didn't start it. I'll say that.
Well, let's look into like the buying portion right now. I'm going to be buying into the Jets because Adam Gase will be fired after the game today. So things can only end up going up for New York, which means they will only be going down. So I'll be buying into the fact that the Jets will not have a coach, and they'll probably take the next 7 months to find a coach because they'll be interviewing every single person that they humanly could. So I'll be buying the Jets today.
Well, why did the homer pick every time? Well, like you're always.
It's not
like,
every
something
time.
with
It's not
Jets.
every time.
Every
Like,
time.
It's not
like
every
you were
time.
the guy. I like. If you go back into our division thing, this guy had the
Oh,
Jets.
I picked the
make
Jets to
playoffs
win.
For Lord know what reason.
Yes.
Like I don't know what you were seeing. They're
He had him
bad.
make
They're
He did not have
good.
make. He had him winning the division or as a wild
The
card.
division as the
Yeah,
4th seed.
division. I guess you forgot Buffalo was a thing. Like I'm like, bro, are you drunk? Josh Allen's sky high above Sam Darnold. So who
Listen.
the hell says, yeah, we're gonna make the playoffs, we're gonna win the division?
Listen,
Buffalo, for some odd reason, is gonna, like,
Listen,
no,
you
there is,
you
no, no,
you
there
need
is no
you need
listen,
you need
look,
to realize
look,
my thinking process here because
no,
the Bills.
there is no
I
thinking
thought
process, Will. There is no thinking process.
let me
Everyone in the
tell you
mother
this.
hand
Let me
division
tell
were
you
the
this.
Ravens, and I told people the Steelers were gonna be decent. I didn't have the Steelers like, oh, they're godly. No, I was realistic. You were very unrealistic with the Jets.
Colton, hear
And
me
guess who
out.
was right? And guess who was wrong, Will? You were dead wrong about the Jets. I was dead right about Goat Allen and the Bills. And I was right about the Steelers. Come on now.
Colton,
Come
you were
on,
talking about
Will.
unrealistic
No
teams.
discussion.
You're talking about unrealistic teams in the Giants and Eagles, and you're still talking about the Jets. We need to calm down a little bit, bud.
Whoa. I'm just – this guy was high as a kite saying the Jets were winning the division. And I told him, like, I'm sitting there during the thing. I'm like, Will, did you just say that? Why did you have to go and pick a homer pick with the Jets, Will? Like, they're not going to be good. They're not. And oh, my God. They couldn't even tank right.
I'm gonna help
Oh
Will out and go to my
God.
buy. I'm gonna go help Will out. I'm gonna buy the Los Angeles Chargers. I like what they're doing. I think they get a win today against the Chiefs. They're dead middle of the road, so they're really not playing for a draft pick. Obviously they could if they lose, but I think they got a good thing going for next season. So push through the next season, get a win today against the Chiefs. Doesn't matter for either team, playoff wise or draft wise. So
Comes down to that team as the head coach. That team could be really, really scary with the right head coach. They're going to get a hopefully healthy. Oh my God, healthy. Derwin James, please.
Yeah.
With that defense, that team's going to be a problem if they can get healthy and get the right head coach in with Justin Herbert. He's the future, and that division's going to be scary. That division's going to be like the AFC North. AFC's loaded for the foreseeable future. If Lamar Jackson stays competent, Joe Burrow stays healthy, and if Stefanski's still the head coach in Cleveland, there's a problem in the future for the NFL, especially in the AFC, folks. Wow.
Let's go into sell. What are you guys selling off today?
All right. There's two I want to pick, but I'll leave one to Will so we can talk more about the Bengals. I'm going to sell the Cardinals because I think Chicago, I think they're going to blow it. I don't think Arizona is going to make the playoffs.
see, I'm gonna sell. I was thinking about the Cardinals, but I think I'm gonna save that for my whole little point forward. But I think I'm just gonna sell the Niners to play the Seahawks today. They have nothing good going. Just lose that game, get a higher draft pick. They're a little less dead middle of the road, so I'll sell the Niners.
I'm selling the Patriots, and it's not close. Cam's time is probably over in New England. That experiment was awful. And to be fair, I don't know if it's all on Cam. I feel like they tried like hiding Cam and like thinking he was Tom Brady, do this, that, and the other. They didn't use his like skill set. I get they did because he did run a boatload of touchdowns in, but I don't think they used Cam right, and they made Cam look absolutely horrendous for Lord knows what reason. Because I don't think the guy's actually that bad. Even though the more and more I watched him play this season, his throwing mechanics are absolutely abysmal. Reminds me of Philip Rivers. Like Cam's going over the top, like so tight, like over the top, and Phillips like sidearm swinging like a baseball. I mean, it just that was a disaster. I'm selling on the Patriots. That was a disaster, and they thankful for them. There's a bunch of quarterbacks. They have a bunch of draft capital. They can try to move up and see if they can get a Zach. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the kid's name.
Zach Wilson, BYU.
Yep. Kyle Trask possibly late in the first round, even though that was an awful, awful bowl
Bad game.
Kyle Trask. Same time though, to be fair, he's playing with a bunch of guys he did not play with all season. To be fair,
I don't think if you're Kyle Trask, you're not playing that game. I
wouldn't have either. Again, hats off to the kid for playing. You know, he could have easily said screw it. I think he took the chance on I'm playing with a bunch of guys I haven't played with, and if I look good, I look good. And it's like, all right, look at how good I looked with guys I didn't play with all season because all of his receivers and Kyle Pitts sat out.
I just think it's too big of a risk. If you're a first round pick and you're thinking about going to the draft, you don't make that decision.
I don't disagree with you. He had a great campaign there, and all for it just to have a really sour ending is not the taste that he was probably looking for and coaches were looking at. But the fact that there's a bunch of quarterbacks late in this draft, possibly for New England, it's goodbye, and that ship has sailed for Cam Newton. And I got to sell the Patriots. It was an awful season. They looked good early, where it was like, all right, this team can mess around and possibly make the playoffs. No, we saw Bill needed Brady. And Brady needed Bill again because I don't see that really working out too well in Tampa Bay with Bruce Arians. It's just the way Arians is tossing him under the bus. It's absolutely abysmal seeing that. Like, Bruce, you forget who you're talking about right now. So they both needed each other, and it was very known this season. I think you're going to see it in the playoffs too.
One team I'm going to probably sell off on is the LA Rams, the hottest and coldest team in the league. I don't see a very long shot for them to really make the playoffs. I could see them losing, and then, Cardinals end up winning. They will clinch a playoff spot, and then maybe the Bears could do an upset in Green Bay, which is very highly unlikely, but I might have to sell off on the Rams. They're just kind of all over the place this year, especially with their play. They could be a team like the Buccaneers, and then they lose to a team like the Jets and the Dolphins. You cannot win on that situation any way you look at it.
It's Jared Goff. I've always said they're a weird team. Like, on paper, they should literally throttle teams because that defense is legit. They have a number one corner. It's not close. Jalen Ramsey's legit. Aaron Donald is probably the best defensive player in the league. You got those two on defense, and Michael Brockers, the rest of the corners. Two young corners that had really good campaigns there up in the interceptions category. They're a legit defense. And Jared Goff with Robert Woods, Cam Akers, Henderson, Higbee, Everett, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Jared Goff. Questionable again. Holding this team back. Yeah. Yikes in LA, folks. Yikes. You got the promising young Justin Herbert there. And Jared Goff. Yikes. Good luck with that, LA Rams. Woo.
And hold, what are you guys holding out on?
I already said it, so I'll go first. I'm holding out on the Cardinals. I think I've said it all season. I think they're better than the 8-7 record shows right now. I think they get a win against the Rams. Hopefully, make a push to the playoffs. Make a push in the playoffs because I think they're a solid team. So I'll hold on the Cardinals for now, even if it's for next season.
I'm going to hold on my Steelers. They played probably their best half of football against the Colts. I don't know where the hell that's been the past 8 weeks, but I'm going to hold on the Steelers, dude. I don't know what this team's going to do in the playoffs. I really don't. I like the resting guys because they haven't had a bye since week 4. So they kind of need a mental break here. Could upset the Browns here, knock them out of the playoffs and see if they can get their run game going. But I'm holding on the Steelers. Oh, God, dude. They played great at the end of last week. And it's like, all right, have fun. Who can beat them with the way they played? Because that defense was legit. The offense looked fantastic. They were humming. But I don't know. I'm holding on them because they could easily get bounced in the first round. If they end up with a Ravens matchup, the Ravens are hot. They can easily get bounced.
I'm holding on to the Bears. If they win, they're in, hands down. I know it's against Green Bay, and Green Bay is playing for something. But if the Cardinals lose and the Bears lose, the Bears still make it in. So I'm holding on to the Bears this week. They might actually make the playoffs.
Yeah, I gotta hold on. I'm gonna agree with Josh. The holding Cardinals, because on certain games they look like they're way better than what they do, and certain games they look way worse than what they do. Like the Patriots game, they look terrible. Eagles game, they look good. Like,
Well, Jake, it's the NFC West. That's how that division works.
Yeah,
That's how that
You're
division
right.
works.
You're right.
Seattle's looked great in games. That's like, wow, Seattle actually that good. And then you got the same thing with the Rams. The Cardinals, I'm not holding on the Cardinals. I think they're just too young. You're seeing the inexperience of Kyler Murray right now. And he is banged up, to be fair. And then the inexperience of Cliff Kingsbury. So I can't really hold on them, which I understand why, because they have been in games this season. They should have lost to the Bills, to be honest. So this is why I can't hold on them. But I also agree why you guys are, because they're there. They're very, very close to being very good. And the fact that they didn't have their legit pass rusher in Chandler Jones for the past, like 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So that's also a big piece. I don't disagree with you, but
the whole
division's just in shambles, to be honest. That's how this division is.
The whole no Jared Goff thing's really kind of throwing a wrench in the whole thing.
Yeah, it's very questionable because that Rams defense is very good still, which is making
they still lose. If the Cardinals still lose to a Jared Goffless, I don't even know who their backup is. I heard his name. It's a nobody. If they
Blake
still
Bortles
lose,
on the bench, though, man. Don't forget that.
The GOAT, Jalen Ramsey,
it's not.
Jalen Ramsey, and Blake Bortles both returned to the same team for the second consecutive year in a row. Would you look at that? But someone I will hold on is the Baltimore Ravens. I know Colin says they're the hottest team, but like I look at the history there, and I think it's a very 50-50 matchup right now. Hey, the Bengals can mess up their draft pick, but they can take out the Ravens, who will not make the playoffs. I mean, they've been in contests with the Browns in week 2, week 9, and they beat the Steelers not very long ago, and I think they're heating up right now. They're trying to show Zach Taylor, like, what do we have now with Joe Burrow out? What can we kind of produce all around the ball?
The Ravens can still win and not make the playoffs.
Yes, it'll all come down to
Miami.
No, they control their destiny. The Colts lost, that's why.
Yeah, with a win, because the Colts lost last week, so the Ravens are in with a win.
Oh, is Cleveland needs Ravens to lose and them to win, right? For them to be in.
Everyone controls their own destiny but the Colts. If everyone wins that's ahead of the Colts, they're in. So problem is, I don't know what happens in Miami. Do the Dolphins win? That's questionable up in the air. Ravens probably should win. And again, Will, oh my goodness, please stop with the drunk takes. Stop holding the Ravens. They're legit. They're very, very good, Will. All right. I don't know what your bandwagon is with the Bengals. Like, is there something with the bottom half teams that you're all in on that I'm not aware? This is like I'm going to hammer Will kind of day because, Will, what are you smoking? Oh my gosh. The Bengals are not good. The Steelers just decided to screw around and be a bad team and lose. They're not that good, Will. The Bengals aren't good, Will. They're not. They're fighting, sure. The Jets have fought all season. They're not good. They couldn't tank right.
Man.
Oh, my God.
Will is just accepting this burn this roast session.
Listen.
Well, it's true. The Bengals shouldn't be winning.
And he still goes on.
The Bengals shouldn't be winning. They were gifted an opportunity to draft a legit tackle from Oregon. And they're saying, nah, let's win meaningless games to prove that, yeah, Zach Taylor, yeah. Who cares? Their franchise quarterback's not there. Who cares? Ryan Fiddle's going to be irrelevant next year once Joe Burrow's back. Who cares? And you're winning. And the one reason you wanted to tank for the guy that got hurt is to protect him. It was all panned out. You get the left tackle from Oregon. Great. Guess what? Then your second round pick, you take an interior lineman. Great. Guess what? You blew it. You blew it because you decided to beat teams you didn't need to. Good job, Cincinnati. Just like the Jets, you couldn't tank right. Good job. You need to lose for your future and decide not to. That's an awful job by both organizations. Oh, my God.
But let's go into the locked and upset picks. What are you guys locking in as the guaranteed pick of the day?
Ravens.
Bengals.
The Ravens. Well, And when they slaughter the Bengals, I'll be happily taking selfies with the score. It's going to be a throttle sesh with the Ravens. Give me the
The
Ravens.
last time I got Colton on a rant like this was when I picked Washington over Pittsburgh, and he told me I'm just giving him a free pick, and then look what happened there.
Oof. Oof, Colton. He's bringing up the past and when you were wrong. That's not a good one.
Coach, it is what it is. They lost. It was a matter of time. And, yeah, I'm not out here buying my team like you are. I'm holding on mine because I'm realistic, Will. I'm realistic.
My lock this week, I think I'm just going to go with Green Bay Packers. I think they get it done easily against Chicago Bears. I think they ruin their playoff hopes and pretty much just get the win there. Shut out the division.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I'm gonna say screw it. Kansas City's gonna lose. I mean, it doesn't matter for Kansas City, but I think the Chargers are gonna end the season on a positive note, and I think it's gonna be good for the franchise. I think Justin Herbert's gonna have a phenomenal rookie year. I mean, he already has, but I think he's gonna continue to strengthen that case, and maybe, has a great game, and it might make the difference for who wins the rookie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Colton, are the Steelers playing for anything today? Like, can they move up at all?
Well, they can move up with the Buffalo loss, but the Steelers, as you know, Will mentioned, they're like everyone is out.
Yeah,
so they're resting guys.
The Browns, but all the
yeah. I would take the Browns, but honestly, Mason Rudolph's kind of playing for his future with the Steelers, so you never know. Their Steelers offense is pretty much all there. Except for Pouncey, so I don't know.
Myles Garrett pulls a helmet out. I think he might just run for his life.
Yo, he's a captain now, man. Myles Garrett's going out there as captain. They should send Mason out there just for the meme.
They really should. Please send Mason out there. And just make Myles Garrett take off his helmet to see his
Garrett walks up without a helmet on.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I'll take the Browns as the lock pick, I guess.
I don't even know who I picked. I have to figure this out really quick. Okay, locked pick. I'm going to take the Titans over the Texans. That's my locked pick right there. Derrick Henry, 200 yards. Guaranteeing 200 yards rushing for Derrick Henry, and he'll finish 10th all time for a single season rushing mark because he is at just under 1,800 rush yards. So I could see.
Can you change your lock to Cincinnati or pick them for your upset?
Well, my upset, I'm taking 2 right now. I'm going to go right there. I'm going to be taking the Bengals on the upset, and I'll be taking the Broncos on the upset because I cannot take the Raiders. I hate the Raiders when they play Week 17 because John Gruden goes for 2 when they're down every single time. I will not take the Raiders ever again. So Broncos, and I'm going to take the Bengals. And you know what? I might make a parlay out of it because why not? What do I have to lose?
Just to screw with.
Why not? Okay, why not? Why not? I'll do that right now.
His own wallet, Josh. He ain't screwing mine. I'm going to laugh when he's like, crap, why did I do that? Why did I do that parlay? You silly goose. Oh, my goodness.
I think the upset, just so I can mess with Jake since we're going here, I'm going to take an upset of the Eagles over Washington, ruin their playoff chances. Kind of just to mess with Jake, really, but I think it's possible. I think they still can win that game, especially even with Alex Smith at quarterback. So we'll see what happens there.
Not taking the bait, but I'm going to take I like the Panthers today. I mean, they weren't as good as I thought they might be just because of the defense with Matt Rule. But with no running backs, and is Drew Brees even playing?
He is playing today. The Seahawks, the Saints, and the Packers are all playing for the 1 seed at this very moment.
Well, to be fair, Jake, everyone and their mother's out for the Panthers. No Mike Davis, no McCaffrey. They're like everyone's sitting in that game for the Panthers.
I don't think the Saints will move the ball.
I don't know if the Panthers are going to move the ball, which is the only thing that scares me here.
Teddy B's playing, and so are some of their receivers. I mean, Curtis Samuel, Teddy B. That could just be enough to beat the Saints at this point.
What's the spread in that game?
It's like 6.5, I think, maybe.
Well, the degenerate in myself might have to look into that game there. Thanks, Jake.
And can I also bring this up really quick? So Matt Barkley will get meaningful snaps today as Josh Allen's only 40 yards away from breaking the Bills' all-time single-season passing mark. And they're going to follow the same strategy as last year. Play the starters in the first half, rest them in the second half. We'll be seeing what's going to be going down in Buffalo today.
Oh, that got very interesting with the Dolphins. Wow. Well,
It did. It
well,
did. I don't think Baltimore makes playoffs, boys.
Oh my gosh, you, Dom, and Will are smoking the same stuff.
Wait. If the Dolphins win, then Ravens are out. Is that what I'm?
No,
Well,
saying?
Ravens
no,
are the
no,
Colts.
oh
The
my
Colts
goodness.
need to win. The Ravens need to lose.
The Colts play
The Colts
Jacksonville.
need help. The Colts need
The
help.
Colts can win and
Great.
Colts
The Colts
Jacksonville.
lost to Jacksonville week 1.
Yeah,
Philip
the Colts
Rivers
also
decided
have
to turn the ball over 3 times.
The Colts defense have been looking real good though.
Yeah, so they got toasted in the second half last week, right, Josh?
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Don't put out last week.
Sir.
Jordan. You don't put out last week. We're okay.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
Yeah.
My upset.
Let's not
My,
forget.
my upset is going to be the Bears over the Packers. I don't know why, but I feel good about it. And
You guys are out here smoking some weird stuff today, man.
it's
I'm
a
gonna
risk,
take
but
the.
that's why it's an upset.
It's not an upset. I'm gonna take the one that's sitting there, and it's pretty easy. I'm taking the Jets. Give me the Jets. The Jets have nothing to lose. They're locked at the 2. The Jets have played very good football the past what? They played honestly pretty good, decent football the past 4 or 5 weeks. Should have beaten the Raiders. They said, "All right, we're gonna win one for the team. We're gonna send the house and see if Carr can make a throw," and he did. It took him 2 tries, but he got it. They upset the Rams. They win last week. They're gonna win again today. The Patriots aren't good. It's over. The Jets are gonna win again today. I'm telling you, the Jets are going to win again.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe rounds out our show. You can follow all of our shows. I'll let everyone take a second to talk about what they have going on with all of their stuff. So whoever wants to take the floor, by all means, I will cut to your camera.
I'll go first, I guess. Talk Show U's been on a bit of a hiatus for this holiday season. Should be coming out with an episode this week for all the recap of the bowl games and the playoffs coming up, national championship at least, I should say, coming up soon. So we'll talk about all that. You guys can catch it. Might have a guest on too, depending on his availability, but we'll talk about it.
Between the benches, we're just pumping out content. We recorded 6 podcasts in the past week?
Past 2 days.
Yeah, honestly. So we have it all queued and ready for the season to start, the NHL season on January 13th. So it's just gonna be releasing.
And now you, Colton.
He was waiting for the segue.
Yeah, just waiting to slide in there like Chris Collinsworth, baby. Gonna slide right in here. But anyway, Chris. Why am I gonna say Chris Collinsworth? So on the Personal NFL podcast Wednesday, special guest Lee Steinberg, who's the agent for Patrick Mahomes, Tua Tagovailoa. The other safety from the Bears,
Aaron Jones.
Adrian Amos, I believe.
Yeah.
Who I'm thinking of. But yeah, clearly the top guy, Patrick Mahomes. That's all you needed to hear. Having him on Wednesday, we're going to talk some football with him, hear what his thoughts were on the Patrick Mahomes deal, because he could have easily taken every dime from Kansas City. So I'm kind of curious to see what he says about that deal getting done, that mega contract for Patrick Mahomes, the future policy for Tua, and some other questions because he has had some Hall of Fame guys there. So I asked some questions on that. So if you have any questions, though, you'd like me to ask Lee, shoot them right over. We'll ask a few for him.
I'm going to DM you, Colton. I got a question for you.
All right.
I can't wait to see what Josh has to ask. And you
I'm
can
gonna ask some random, like, what's your favorite ice cream flavor or something? Just something.
Well, yeah, I'm clearly not asking them that. But yeah, Josh, I got you, man. I got you.
It's gonna be like, hey, can you trade Mahomes to the Giants, please? Thanks.
And you can follow the Play Extra podcast, NFL Talk. We're trying to rev up Super Bowl week, try to get some well-known legends, recent Super Bowl champions on there, and all that kind of good stuff. So you can follow us on there, follow all these beautiful shows, wherever you follow, your podcast content, platform, social medias, all that kind of good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen,